Well, I don't see you all touching each other's hands. So let's just do that right now, please. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Well, look at y'all. You think we're singing the peace song. We don't have to make the whole circle. Yes. Isn't that a beautiful message for us to take in this morning? To reach out. Reach out beyond ourselves. Can I get an amen? Amen. And a little bit louder. Amen. 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 Because what we know in unity is that what we focus on, we're going to experience more of. Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinketh within himself, so is he. So let me bring that into a little bit modern day. As a woman thinketh within, so is she. And as a child thinketh within, so are they. It's a universal principle. This morning I want to delve into the art of giving and receiving. Just like that, reaching out. We're reaching out and we are giving. Not just a comfort, but a physical presence to another person. And as we give, what happens if there's not a receiver? The transaction can't be completed. So it's a circulation. So the law of circulation, as we teach in unity, is one of those foundational principles, and it's where we come from in an awareness that we live in an abundant universe. This is what the law of circulation actually says, that all things in the universe are always flowing at an ever-expanding rate. All things in the universe are always flowing at an ever-expanding rate. I think that's pretty exciting. Can I see some heads nodding? Because part of what that tells us is, if what I find myself saying about this situation or this person or this relationship isn't really what I want, I'm responsible for expanding what I really don't want, right? So if we're responsible for expanding what we do want, we are responsible for paying attention to when it's the flip side. Now, I'm human. I'm not going to say I haven't complained in the last 48 hours. Would you say, dear?
Pretty accurate, yes.
And so the call this morning isn't about never having a negative thought of something. No. The call, as we understand it in spiritual teachings, is to come to ourselves just a little quicker. To come to realize in the moment of, oh, wait a minute, that's not really what I want to experience. Now let me back that up real quick because I want to be sure that I define the difference in having a denial experience and denying the power of an experience. So denial of an experience is, oh, well, this isn't happening. This isn't what the doctor said. My boss didn't really tell me that my job is over. That's denying the experience. In unity, we teach that the denial part of our power is that we deny that whatever is happening, whatever the situation, whatever we're witnessing or experiencing, can rob us of our joy. And so we're back to the art of giving and receiving. What are we anticipating as we give? What are we saying yes to? And one of the things that I believe blocks our ability to truly receive the magnificence of the universe is that we have a thought somewhere buried deep within our psyche, whether we were born with it or we got it as a child or we got it from our ex-spouse, we have a thought that there is not enough. Not enough time, not enough money, not enough food, not enough whatever. Anybody have the not enough time issue? I'm like, we live in the not enough time capital, don't we? Just drive on 495 for a few minutes, and you'll see. And yet we do have enough. We have way more than enough because in the law of circulation, remember, all things are flowing at an ever-expanding rate. We are called to consciously choose where we focus our attention. Amen? So, sometimes in the art of giving and receiving, we are focusing on what we have to give, and we forget to receive. And so that second block for many of us is around receiving authentically. Now, I don't mean receiving as in you're sitting in the pew and you're receiving my words. No. Receiving as in, well, I don't know. Have you ever been paid a compliment about your hair or your clothes and you just go, oh yeah, this is so old. So you dismiss what was given. Now, I know I was taught as a good Southern girl, you don't want to be puffed up too much. Okay, can we all just agree that that no longer qualifies? That no longer serves? We receive when a compliment is given to us. Have you ever been to lunch or dinner with a friend and they want to pick up the check and you go, oh no, I can't let you do that. Oh, come on now. Am I the only one in this room that's ever done that? Well, I'm done doing it. I'm done today. What if we just say thank you? And in the back of our mind, we can think next time I'll get to the check first. But let's be sure we're not thinking that because we have a belief that there's not enough. Or if someone like ourselves prospers, then that means we're taking something from someone else. Because that's another hidden belief that operates in our minds, and we don't even know it. Catherine Ponder, who's a longtime Unity Minister author, we've got plenty of her books, don't we, Jim, in the lending library? Oh, she's a wonderful writer. She simply says this one statement, and I love it. She says, nothing is too good to be true. And I extract that to say, no gift is too good to be true. Now take a deep breath on that one. Have you ever received a gift that you thought, this is too good to be true? Yeah. Today, let's eliminate that from our belief system. Nothing is too good. There is nothing that is too good to be true. The good is the truth. And so we give and we receive. In 1997, early on in my Unity days, the church that I attended, we had an annual experience, and I know this church did too for many years, called Recirculation Day. If you know what Recirculation Day is, raise your hand. Recirculation Day. All right, good. We're going to educate you. We always called it a free yard sale. But you have to be careful about that, because it's not a free junk yard sale. And it was where, as a spiritual community, we would bring things that still had life left in them. I remember taking my turkey roaster one time because I was a vegetarian. And it was a good turkey roaster. And nobody took it, and nobody took it, and nobody took it. And I thought, I'm probably going to cook another turkey. Let me go put that back in my car. I both gave and received from myself. Well, in 1997, at a particular recirculation day down in Springfield, Virginia, there was a family that came by, and one of the things that had been brought to the free yard sale was a baby crib. And this family was so excited, and I watched them, and They were just beside themselves. And one of the things that we liked to offer as a church was that we had 1 or 2 trucks there. So if there was a piece of big furniture, we could help that person get it to their house. Again, these were things that still had good use, but were no longer needed by the person who owned them. Because remember, when we're giving, we're also clearing, okay? So Ogun and another woman took this baby crib to the apartment. And they came back. And they reported that the apartment where the family had been living for 6 weeks had no furniture. I was like, what? Where's everybody sleeping for 6 weeks? On a blanket on the floor. And so now they had a baby crib for the baby. I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't even believe it, and I had my grandmother's pull-out sofa at my house. Do you remember that furniture your grandma had? It was just a little bit itchy when you sat on it. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, it was firm, hardy. And I was very afraid because my father had let me have it when my grandmother passed. But in that moment, I knew a pull-out sofa would serve this family so much more than myself. And it also came with a pretty large love seat that goes with it. And so I don't know what happened to the rest of the stuff at Recirculation Day because I became very fixed on going to get this couch out of my little apartment in Centerville. So we did that, and we loaded it on the truck, and we showed up for that family, and the wife was walking across the street, across Old Key Mill Road to Giant, where she was a cashier, and she saw us coming. She turned around, and she began to cry. And we delivered this itchy couch. And immediately, they pulled out the love seat and said, oh, now Mom and Dad will have a place to sleep. Was so touched. And I was like, oh, it felt so good to give. And then Ogun said, well, let's go furniture shopping. I was like, oh, no. No. He's like, yes. We headed down to IKEA while we still had the truck. And I found a couch, and I purchased it. But what I remember from the story was we also purchased a chair. We actually still have that chair. Apparently, I can't get rid of that chair because of this story. Maybe after today, I can get rid of that chair, Ogun.
I still like that chair.
It's a classic IKEA chair, let me just tell you. And so I purchased this couch, and then Ogun's like, well, let's buy this chair. I said, well, let's. We've been dating for, 6 months, 7 months. You want to buy a piece of furniture together? Woo, I was ready to run. For you see, I wasn't ready to receive. I wasn't ready to receive not only that gesture, but my interpretation of that gesture. It's a dance. The art of giving and receiving. Charles Fillmore says, and Charles Fillmore is our co-founder of Unity, he says, we shall serve for the joy of serving, and prosperity shall flow to us and through us in unending strains of plenty. Serving from that place of joy in our heart. Sometimes we have to move through some fear. Sometimes we have to move through some of those beliefs of not enough, of whether it's something outside of us that's not enough or something inside of us that's not enough. So this morning I want to take us on a visualization. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and just follow my voice. And we're going to visualize as if we were standing on the shore of a lake. So see yourself standing at the shore of the lake. You may not even like lakes. It's okay. I'm not going to make you get in the water. But imagine, sense, and feel that you have a fishing pole in your hand. And that you're going to bring that fishing pole back behind your right ear and you're going to cast it off into the lake. Do we know what we'll catch? In this image, it might be a fish. And yet, spiritually, when we take this in deeper, when we cast our intention into the vibration of the planet from a place of joyfully serving, joyfully offering, joyfully giving, what might we receive? And are we willing to trust that what's underneath that water is only good? Nothing is too good to be true. Nothing is too good. There is nothing out there in which perfect love can't cast out all fear. What if this fishing pole is our perfect love that we cast into the universe and open our hearts to receive? Let's all do that wonderful sigh together. Ah. And so it is. Namaste.